So now I have introduced you to impulse steam turbines, and now we'll look at more details of how the velocity triangle and energy transfer equations or work achieved or work gained are developed in impulse steam turbine. So let's look at velocity triangle. Here is the rotor. One of the blade of the rotor is shown over here, and this is the angle beta, that is the angle blade angle. And we'll assume the smooth entry, incidence loss or shock loss are zero. So the relative velocity is directly in this direction. It, it glides over the blade and leaves in other direction. So this is how the inlet velocity triangle looks like, and the exit velocity triangle will also look like similarly, and I'll show that in later stage. So let me reiterate all the velocities for you. So V is the absolute velocity of the fluid, and here is VR, VR1. So VR is the relative velocity. VW is it's the radial velocity or whirl velocity, WHIRL. VF is the flow velocity or the axial velocity, and U is the blade speed, the velocity at which the blade is rotating. So blades are rotating in a circular direction. That's the uh, velocity of the blade's rotation angle. And the one in the subscript represents the inlet side for the rotor, and 2 in the subscript will represent outlet side for the rotor. So everything is with respect to rotor itself. And the alpha angle is the angle between the blade speed and absolute velocity. Beta is the angle between the blade speed, direction, and the relative velocity. And here we have symmetrical blading, and the meaning of symmetrical blading means beta 1 and beta 2 are equal, or we can specifically say them as equiangular blading. And beta is the blade angle, and U1 is equal to U2 is equal to U. This is based on mean diameter. This is same as the things I have explained in centrifugal compressor, because over there also the blades are at the same distance from the center. So what does that mean? We can define a blade speed based on the mean diameter. So earlier, if since the blades are at constant diameter from the center, so we can define the mean speed. If earlier in other turbines or other impeller type of impeller type of fluid machines, such as Pelton wheel or such as reciprocating pump or such as other things where the blades were such, where we had an impeller, the diameter is changing at all points, the radius is changing, and hence the velocity will keep on changing. And we can define a mean velocity, but that doesn't mean or it is not helpful to us. While over here, the mean velocity will be very helpful because all the blades are at same position. And VF1 is equal to VF2 is equal to VF, that is neglecting friction, the flow velocity remains the same, and the flow velocity will be helpful to define the mass flow rate, which we'll see later. So, and if friction is involved, the friction coefficient K is defined as VF2 over VF1, or in case of equiangular blading, this is same as VR2 divided by VR1. But this relation comes only true when we have equiangular blading. That is generally true for industrial purpose. So now let's see the tangential force on the blade. So that's the force equation we have, VW1 minus VW2. That's the tangential force or the radial force. And when we take into account the negative sign, that is the direction of VW2, the magnitude wise, we have addition of velocities, and we can show delta VW is equal to magnitude of VW1 plus magnitude of VW2. So the total force is m dot delta VW. And the power or energy developed is force into displacement, that is the power. So m dot U VW1 plus VW2. And we'll see the blading efficiency in the next video.